So here we are at the close of Module 5, Equity, Empathy, and Inclusion. And they really make up an equation. When you put those three together, it equals belonging. And of course, that's our focus, to create the conditions of belonging. And this is, as Module 5, the final one where we'll be learning new information or reading new perspectives that I'll be sharing. From this point forward, the final module will be a collection, a compendium of all of the processes and activities and exercises to create what I call a circle of belonging. And that's what Module 6 will be called. But this one really is the final piece of the puzzle toward creating the conditions for belonging. And this work is really all about compassion. It's kind of like visiting someone in their home and checking out the inner architecture of their world. I mean, you would never go to someone's home and start telling them how they should move the furniture around. Like if someone came to your house and said, that couch would look better over there, and that chair would look better, in the family room. You'd be like, what are you telling me this for? This is my home. This is how I like to live. This is how I've put it together. We would never do that, and we wouldn't want someone to do it to us. But that's the challenge with compassion. That's the challenge with empathy and inclusion. To go into someone else's inner world, their inner landscape, and seek to understand what their life is like, what their experience is. And that's what equity is. Equity means, to me, it means fairness. Learning someone else's story, learning someone else's way of experiencing the world and responding to that. It's not based on our expectations. It's based on how they make sense of the world, where they have their furniture placed. And the path to doing this effectively, as we focused on in this module, is to start by going within, the inner focus work. And we did that by looking deeply at emotional imprints, our early life experiences that helped create how we see the world, how we make sense of the world, and how we communicate with others. And once we can do that inner work and unearth our emotional imprints and learn how to manage them more effectively, we can then bridge that work over to very concrete emotional intelligence competencies. Competencies, those are things you can actually get better at. And with emotional intelligence, we can look at the things that have gotten in our way before within our relationships, reflect on those, and become more effective. And that's the goal of going from our emotional imprints to emotional intelligence. So it goes focusing inner to focusing with other. And as I said, this is the final piece of the puzzle for this work on belonging, emotional safety, relationships, life skills development, stress management. All of these are facets of the architecture of the child, the architecture of a classroom or school of belonging. And once we get to that place where young people feel safe, when they feel that they're in a healthy relationship with the adults, and they have the skills to manage their stress and their anxiety, the final piece to the puzzle, the final piece to the picture, which grows out of equity work, is trust. Trust that they can be who they are when they're with you, and ask you questions to understand. When children feel safe to ask questions, that's when true discovery takes place. They wonder things, and that's when the greatest opportunity to be a mentor exists as well. When they ask those questions and we respond in caring and compassionate ways, that closes the circle of belonging. And that is the ultimate goal of this course, creating a school of belonging, building the conditions for a classroom of emotional safety. I hope this has been an illuminating process for you. I hope it's brought comfort to you at different times and has helped you, not only in your professional work, but in your personal life as well, with all of your relationships. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this initial group of people, this initial cohort, experiencing this course. As I said, Module 6 will be called the Circles of Belonging, where I'll pull things from each of the modules that are very specific and practical that you can put into use, and hopefully find ways to do this virtually if we're still not working with our children in the classroom as next school year approaches. I wish you all the very best to you, your family, and your friends, and I look forward to continuing our work together in the future. Take good care.